Broadcasting live from the basement of the Pentagon. This is WTF Nation Radio.
I looked my woman in the eye sockets. I told her straight out. I just said it, man. I said it. I said, bitch, I'm the man of the house.
Yeah, you said bitch, though. You called your wife a bitch.
Yeah.
This is a public service announcement from C.T. Fletcher. I will not contribute to the pussification of a nation. Get your punk ass out there and work for it, motherfucker.
Let's roll.
Morning, Sergeant Major.
How do you know what kind of goddamn day it is?
Beautiful morning, Sergeant Major.
Are you a fucking weatherman now?
You're listening to Sergeant's Time on WTF Nation Radio.
Make them off some.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Broadcasting live. Broadcasting live from the Functional Veteran Center of Excellence. On this 14 November 2024, in the year of the WTF Nation dumpster fire. Ha! My host. In the gutter seat, I got the Spanky.
Hey y'all, that's me.
Oh man, girl, what you doing?
Oh, you know, it's like 87 o'clock out,
I know,
because, you know, daylight savings time. Other than that, I'm good.
It's 87. It's 87. It's 87 o'clock at, what did you say? The 17th week of whatever. What you put us as the meme again? We're at the
17th week of November.
Yeah,
or
17th.
something.
We're in the 17th week of November, something like that. Oh man. So hey, real quick, I just want to. Hey, you know, you fucking haters out there, shut up. I'm just gonna say this right now. Look, we posted posted an image on the main page, and in an article we got this in. We got it. Actually, we didn't get the image. We got the article from Task and Purpose, but we got the image of a Native American soldier who was in, you know, his regalia and all that stuff. I'm gonna tell you what. How is it that when it's a specialist, gets to be in his own little, you know, Native American stuff? Cool. It's not cool. You got all this old sauce coming out. But when I see a picture of a guy like wearing all of his SF stuff, who's Native and wearing all his war shit, everyone's like, that shit slams. That shit's badass. That's awesome. And I'm like, why you want to fucking dish Specialist Braveheart? Leave him the fuck alone. So shut the fuck up. Just the comments on the page. Holy shit. The regulation, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, I'm getting tired of it. I'm getting tired of that stuff. It's like, hey, look, I'll be honest with you. I think, you know, any like warrior, I mean, that's like warrior thing, right? Tribal warrior stuff. Could you imagine having our adversaries? I'm not saying that I want war to happen in Russia, but could you imagine a bunch of Native Americans in their regalia on the battlefield fucking up Ivan? I'm just saying.
I mean, I wouldn't mind watching.
I'm just saying. I'm just saying. So all you haters out there that talk about, oh, this, but then when it comes to like other stuff, you see in the comments, oh, that's badass and that's whatever. Make up your minds. Be consistent. So they have SF envy. Most of the comments come from those that are laying on their couches all day. Yeah. No, they also have, I don't know, beasts. Look, guys, whatever happened back in the day, I'm serious. Whatever happened back in the day, and that's on you. That's. I'm sorry that the army that you grew up with just came out that way, and because we watch movies all the time in Hollywood, and you always see I mean, come on. I mean, not to be like all weird and shit and get really sci-fi into pop culture, but like Predator, right? Billy was. Yeah. Everyone was walking around. Billy was like, you know, with his
I wouldn't fuck with Billy.
Yeah, I wouldn't fuck with Billy. Yeah, exactly that.
Billy,
And not many people intimidate me. Well, nobody really intimidates me. But
Yeah.
I still would. I'd walk the fuck away if Billy was coming
Yeah,
for me.
Billy was coming at me, and you know, he was going out pulling point, and he was a tracker, and everyone respected that, right? He was allowed to have his talisman that he was rubbing to kind of like get the vibes out. He had his had the way his headband was and all that. I'm gonna tell you, man, we all love that shit. Oh, that's badass. Billy's badass. Yeah. Billy, all the jokes and all this other stuff that was in the movie Predator and a specific commando unit going out and doing stuff, right? But then when it comes to real life, y'all want to hate on a specialist? You guys realize the specialist follows WTF moments as well, right?
Right? Like, that's like literally most of our audience.
Yeah.
But, it's like, but no, what kills me is like all of these like old people, and I'm saying it because I've saw the comments too, and they're mostly like what Coach said, like laying around on the couch, but they they really need to realize that all of these uniform standards that we have are to make us look like a more professional army when we were in the peacetime.
Yeah.
And like, because back in like my dad's time, like during Vietnam, nobody gave a fuck. I mean, yeah, you had uniforms, but they're not going to be like, oh, you're wearing a feather while we're in the jungle in Vietnam. I don't think they're going to be upset about that. And again, like I said, after peacetime is when all these regulations and all, got all tightened up and like, oh no, we have to look pretty.
Yeah.
Because we're not at war.
Right.
So
right.
then they just kept sticking. And now they're finally realizing, okay, we can loosen up some of these because they don't make sense.
Right. They're salty because they didn't get their free meal at the Golden Corral. Did you get some any Veterans Day love that day? Veterans Day or no?
I did because I always go get my free car wash. That is my one.
Yep.
I planned on it. I was gonna go because I saw that Roadhouse was doing the coupons and you didn't have to like eat that day, right? And I'm like, oh, cool. I can go do that. My kid used to work at Roadhouse. I love it. And I don't get a discount there anymore because my kid does no longer work at Roadhouse. So,
Right.
Yeah. So I was going to swing by and like, okay, after my car wash and stuff, I'm going to go pick up my free coupon. And I saw the line to even get in the parking lot. I'm like, never mind. Y'all can have that. I mean, appreciate what they're doing, but I'm not waiting in a line for nothing.
Yeah, we posted
absolutely
on Monday. We I talked about it and I posted the long line out there. And then I was like, man, I'll be honest with you. I did get, and this is just running around my errands during the day. And I was like, hey, did you, Jay, are you a veteran or this? I'm like, how can you tell? I'm like wearing a ball cap, got short hair, is it,
right?
I'm like, yes, sir, no, ma'am, whatever. And then they're like, I just asked, I'm like, well, I'm not active duty. And I was being specific. I am not active duty. I'm retired.
Mm-hmm.
So unless those haters that want to recall me for memes, they're like, oh, okay, well then, you could go, we'll give you a discount. I'm like, you get a discount for what? I can't remember what it was. I was grabbing some donuts or some shit. And they're like, yeah, you got a discount, Veterans Day, blah, discount. I'm like, all right, cool. That'll work. And that was it. That was no big deal. But to go back to the topic at hand.
No, I did. Last one. I forgot. I did because this didn't have to be on Veterans Day. It was a whole weekend. I went to IKEA and they had 15% off for veterans. So yes, I did that one too. Like I said, it's not about the free food for me, but I'm all about discount if I'm shopping.
Yeah, yeah.
That's the kind of like special that
get that discount, man. Don't get mad. Don't freak out. Don't be hating on everybody who, you're just trying to get your yeah. The Bay page posted a picture of was it Home Depot or something like that, and they had all their carts inside the veteran parking spot. Oh, yeah. The magic is gone.
Yeah, it is, and yes, it is.
So yeah. So
I mean, we all got DV plates.
Yeah, we should. Yeah, everyone's got DV plates, so it's no special anymore. No, I'm just saying, don't guys back off. I don't want everybody fucking clip my words and stuff like that. But anyways, I just wanted to talk about how everyone just like immediately jumped on this kid's post, and it was it was a I don't know, fucking it was just talking about a kid who got his accommodation to wear his war stuff. And
they sure wouldn't say nothing if they got an accommodation to wear a beard.
Yeah, well, yeah. They're talking about beards and Valhalla and Vikings and Nordic stuff and upside down hammers and shit. It's cool, right? I mean, that's cool, but as soon as Specialist Braveheart decides to put in his stuff and he gets it, man, I don't understand the hate. I just don't understand. Hey,
Oh, I mean, like I said, just I mean, like one accommodation is not okay, but you are guys are fighting for the other ones.
right.
And I'm pretty sure because I saw where Braveheart is from and everything else, I am sure that he still like practices all of these things. And I have yet to find one of these bearded Nord people that do.
Right.
So
Right.
I will just say that.
Yeah.
Except for like I need to wear a beard and say, Valhalla.
You got to say Valhalla 3 times or something like that, like
Yes.
Beetlejuice.
Yes, something, I don't know.
Or yeah, you got to be, don't get all butthurt. Also, okay, there was another post that was posted on U.S. Army WTF moments that it got everybody stupid. They got everybody confused. Now, look, you guys have to understand, and I'll say this: spouses, civilians. You have to understand that the posts that are on U.S. Army WTF moments are of the Army. They're related to the Army, and they relate to Army things. So you kind of have to ask somebody, hey, what does this post mean? And it's kind of like a joke, kind of like you got to get rid in on the inside joke, because if you don't, then then you look like okay. So we do have medical personnel as admins in the team. And so I thought this was a fucking hilarious post, but it was a post that said a parking spot that said expectant. Now, if you're a civilian and you see that, your civilian mind means what? It means, I can't believe I have to explain memes to people, but here we are. It means that somebody's probably with child. They're about ready to have a baby, right? Okay. Now that's civilian stuff, guys. Pay attention here. Hang on, guys. Here, you get yourself a freaking WTF Nation Radio top fan tab here, because otherwise you're just trying to be a Facebook ranger. So the expectant to a medic, expectant to anybody who's gone through CLS or TCCC means what? That means that person's going to die. So we all got a chuckle in the chats. That was pretty cool. I will say we have been bombasted by pregnant women in the fucking inbox on what did you mean by that post? And I'm like,
I mean, say it with your chest. Put it in the comments.
I mean, it's like, you mean expect? I mean, it's like, there. I can't believe I have to explain memes, but guys, understand that when you follow U.S. Army WTF moments, military thinking related, military thoughts related, we don't go thinking, I think we need to go. Another thing too is that we don't go out and scan other pages to grab content, and then that's how it gets up there. No, this is in the inbox. All of the medics on our team, the medical people on our team, medics that sent it in. And those who've gone through that type of medical training laughed. We thought it was fucking a good chuckle. And holy crap, did we get the anti-pregnant? You guys don't know what you're talking about. Did you know if you go to a parking lot at this place and it says expectant, it means that it's somebody who's carrying a baby? And I'm like, Jesus Christ, guys. Just
I seen all of those signs, and it does not say it just expectant. It says expectant mother.
Yes,
There's
yes,
always that
yes,
clarification.
yes,
in that
there you,
parking spot.
yes.
But with that being said, if you're pregnant and you really want to park in this spot, I'm sure that nobody's going to come out and make
Right.
you expectant.
Right.
So,
And lately, the content in the inbox has been pretty fucking. People have been pretty sensitive about it. I'm like, God dang, dudes. It's I guess
also,
you had to be there type thing.
Yeah. And if there's a joke on there that you don't get, it's probably not for you. You really can ignore it. I mean, that is an option.
Yep.
To ignore things that you don't understand, don't like, or don't want nothing to do with.
Yeah.
And it's probably a lot healthier than like becoming a keyboard warrior and getting all mad about it.
Right. Oh my God.
Just move on.
I can't believe you
like,
guys.
How did this picture hurt you?
Yeah. I can't believe you guys posted this. I can't believe you guys blah, 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 blah. And I'm thinking everyone's like, why are we getting all these, I am pregnant and I can't believe you posted that? Yeah. They saw that. They saw the fact that we didn't think that pregnant women should get fucking a parking spot. And I'm like, huh? So
I mean,
there we go.
I've been pregnant before, and I will park in those spots if they're empty because again, I'm sorry, pregnancy is not a handicap. You can walk, you really can, and if you can't, then you would have a handicap, placard. So
Yeah, because
I'm just saying.
I'm just saying. On most installations, we don't have a parking problem; we have a walking problem.
Mhm.
So anyway, so yeah, people. I just wanted to clear that up because that, believe it or not, I mean, I was like. That's of all the posts that we got, that's been the most big dramatic.
That's the one.
That's the one that's the one that's causing the most drama. Okay. All right. The next thing, another post that we did, is there's a Diego Mercado. His dad's in the military. I don't know if you guys have seen the video, but I will window cap this with no sound so that way it doesn't drown out everything and we can talk about it. So if you guys gone to the main page, you'll see that there's somebody that we shared, and it was it was just a conversation, and it was about this kid whose dad is in the military, and he's an amputee, and there is talk, there's discussion. They're trying to get a petition together to see if we could change the policy of getting Diego be able to enlist in the military with a preconditioned amputee, as a preconditioned amputee. You guys know that we already have veterans that have been injured by blast injuries or lost their legs in training accidents, and you've seen them. You've seen them posting their stuff, about their leg, and posting their stuff about them being able to be a soldier still and all that. So his dad hit the inbox, and I engaged this one myself. And I'm going to say right now, and some of the comments are pretty supportive. If you can join the military and you were able to, because again, I'm going to go back to another thing. Look at this kid's doing he did the ACFT. This kid did the ACFT, and he's crushing it. Now obviously, you could see that he's got a blade for a leg and all that stuff, but it just kind of hit me. It's like, how is it that when it comes to going back to Specialist Braveheart situation, how is it when it comes to big army stuff or something like that, everyone breaks balls and everyone shit talks and shit posts. But when somebody, we have guys who've deployed as an amputee in Ranger Regiment. Yeah, exactly that, PZ. Exactly that. Again, when it comes to the elite units and they have their injuries and stuff like that, everyone's, oh yeah, that's right. Because you know what? You're elite. You're that. Well, look, you got a kid that wants to join the military with his leg, like, he's, and you can tell he's getting it. Look at this little guy.
Mm-hmm.
So,
like I said, I think there should be maybe it's not like over the board, but there can be waivers for anything, and I don't see why this can't be a waive condition for him, especially if he can definitely do that ACFT better than me.
mm-hmm.
And like I said, I am sure that even like there's a million jobs in the Army, and they all can be deployed at any time. So I really don't see the problem. If everybody says, well, if they can meet the standard, when it comes to females doing this, that, or whatever, what's the difference? Like,
right.
He can meet the standard. It's the pre-existing condition, just like, any other one. You come in the Army and it's already on your records, and you can't get VA disability before it unless,
right.
The Army makes it worse.
Right.
So I don't see why not. Like, let it be waived.
Yeah, Gary, I see all the comments in there. Gary, he's doing better than 90% of the population. Kelsey says that kid can meet the standard. He's doing better than 30% of the Army already. Insomniac says if you can pass an APFT, you should be able to serve. And of course, I already talked about PZ's comment. We've got guys who are deployed as an amputee at Ranger Regiment. So if you could do it with that, I don't see why that kid. Main page, we don't really post GoFundMe's or Change.orgs and all that stuff. So, but I wanted to share the story, and the story does have its Change.org stuff and all. I think personally, that if you're able to knock it out of the park, you're able to serve, and you're able to do those conditions of the APFT. You're able. Look. He's crushing it. That kid's fucking smoking my bags, probably.
He's doing better than all the big sergeants too.
Yeah.
So there's that.
Exactly.
There's that. And I'm big sergeant in this situation. I'm not doing all that no more. I am not.
Yeah, exactly. Guaranteed he'll never write a profile. Oh man, could you imagine him as an NCO? I can't do this, Sarnt. And then he's just standing there with his leg, with his.
I know. How am I going to follow this run?
Yeah, exactly. How am I going to follow this run
with one leg? And
Yeah.
fucking whooping my ass.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly that. Exactly. Fucking. Hey, did you hear about Sergeant Mercado?
That's motivation.
Sergeant Mercado. He's dude. He says no excuses. Well, whatever, man. And all of a sudden you meet him and you're like, oh shit, yeah, okay.
Okay.
Yeah. You freaking getting it out. Guaranteed. Yeah, exactly that. Guaranteed he'll never write a profile. All right, another one. Another one we're going to talk about. Again, this was posted after Veterans Day, and this was posted yesterday. Here was something that everyone's like, Was it worthy? Was it worthy to complain about? Was it worthy to talk about? Here's what happened. So the Los Angeles Rams sent out an email and saying thank you for reaching out for the Rams, blah blah blah. Because there was an email receipt that was sent out for Tailgate for Troops. And it was a miscommunication. I think it was a miscommunication from the team, that the corporate of the team down to the people who were down on the ground that were doing it. So basically what it was is that they said it was a miscommunication, but basically what it was, you show up, and if you're active duty or former military, like a veteran, you're celebrating you at the tailgate party. Okay, right. Cool. Did you show up? Then that's fine. Somebody showed up, provided the credentials that they were a veteran here for the tailgate party, and then they said, "Nah, you could buy a ticket. Sorry, don't think we could do." So we posted. Now, I don't know what the bigger WTF is, that there's a Los Angeles Rams fan out there. No, I'm just kidding. My biggest thing about this right here is that if you are specifically the NFL that likes to do the we're proud, rah support the troops. If you're going to post something like this out into the population, and then they show up following the direction that you have provided, and then you deny them, don't get mad when their shit's posting on social media. That's all it is.
Right. I don't know. Like, I see like all the miscommunication, and the Rams obviously, like, their side got this kind of wrong. This Rams info, whoever that is. But when I see this poster, I'm just telling you, my thought is, like, if I just saw the poster, is you already had to be there. Like, if you were going to the game, they would have special stuff for you. That's how I see it. But again, that's me. And I don't assume that anybody is doing anything. That's just like when I saw that poster without the email, I would just think that they're doing something for the veterans that are at the game.
Right. Well, I mean, we didn't.
Like, you would have to buy a ticket to get in the game. And I see where, them trying to clarify it.
That could be a point too. That could be a point too, but like, it was not clarified. Like, if there was specifically when it comes to, and I mean, come on, there's a lot of people that, I mean, you know me, I go fucking B-dubs on Sundays and shit and enjoy my games. Me and Baby Ice are slamming. Well, I'm the one that's slamming the beers. He's my designated driver. But we go hang out, we go do our thing, and then you see this celebrated service, and we support the troops and all that, blah blah blah. The NFL has, they have an obligation that if they're going to post something like this, what do you see? Tailgate for Troops, November 11th. Active duty, blah blah blah. See you at the C is celebrating you at their member lounge and all this, and then they're like, "Whoa, shit! I get to do this? Fuck yeah!"
No, well, that's just it. Without that email, I don't know why anybody would assume that you didn't already have to be going to the game to get into the stadium level 4 place.
Right.
Like I said, so somebody, like whoever this is, they emailed the Rams and was asking them. And I'm pretty sure it probably wasn't the Rams that was doing this. It was whoever runs the lounge, but here and there. So the Rams should have really said, "This isn't us. We need to get you the right people." Then there would have been no confusion. But that poster to me, like I said, without the email, I don't see why anybody would assume that they can get in the game for free.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
I don't know.
Shit. Oh, well, damn. Christian's in the man. Me and him. Okay, sorry, Christian. I didn't mean to. Damn, Christian's like, oh, you follow it. This Christian like logged in. Damn. So, Christian, is it okay if we talk about it, man? Can I talk to you? I mean, can I? I mean, I see you in the chat. Can I bring up your comment? I don't want to put you on blast. Well, you're already in the comments, so I guess you're already on blast.
well, yeah, but the no ticket thing is what I'm saying. Like, you don't need a ticket to get into the lounge, but you already had to be at the game. Like I said, and I see that it was not clarified right, but like I said, that is my impression just by looking at that poster.
So Christian, since Christian like put himself out there, I'm just quoting this right now for you guys that are not seeing this in the other chats. is that hey, Raider Nation, baby. I'm sorry, I was breaking balls with him in the chat in the emails. I got and this is what he's saying for you guys that are not able to see him on Facebook and all the other chats. I got the email November 6th. Yeah, I mean, it's kind of too late now, but it's just a highlight thing there, Kelsey. We're just highlighting. Went to the email, got the email November 6th, went to the stadium November 9th to confirm early game day, and every answer I got was the same, no ticket. Everything is free. Show up with an email and ID, and I did the due diligence check before, unquote. So, he's not hiding. Okay, well, there you go. So, yeah. Hey, we're also streaming on YouTube and Twitter, Christian. So, anda pues. Hey, we got a guest named Christian too coming on. Christian, anda pues. Got a bunch of Christians coming on here. So yeah. Now, so again, hey, just want to highlight it that if you're gonna fucking post some shit like this out, be specific because we're like toddlers. We take shit literal.
Right.
So if you say some shit,
no offense, Christian, but especially y'all infantry people. Okay, it's a little bit of offense.
Yeah. Well, I'm just gonna say, we're a fine print shit. Tailgate for troops, November 11th. Oh shit, I get to do this. Holy shit, I'm signing up. I'm gonna get this stuff.
All right.
And then you show up and there's like more stuff added to it. Then you're like, wait a minute. What is this, a timeshare fucking you know when you go to Vegas and you walking around and like, hey, you want to get this free thing? You get free lunch. You know, you get free. He even admits he's at 11 Bravo.
Oh, I figured.
You pegged it. So I'm just gonna say again, Rams, you should have fucking been more specific and you should have been more clear. Maybe you should have had somebody who was a point of contact down there to assist in that, so that way you weren't running like you were saying. Spanky was probably. Not somebody from the Rams, but some dude on the ground that didn't really grab the stuff and also the shit. So, but anyway, so that was just some Veterans Day highlights that I wanted to bring up. And somebody says that the thing of the video. Oh yeah, well, wholesome. That Specialist Braveheart was wholesome. Well, there you go. So thanks. Reason I have to say, Specialist Braveheart's reason for wearing the feather is wholesome as hell. Yeah, there you go. So, yeah, no problem, Christian. No problem. Raider Nation. Sorry, Raiders.
Yay, sports team.
Yeah. Peggy's like, yay, sports things, you people with sports.
I only like college football right now, so yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So, at any rate. So I just wanted to do a real quick cover what was happening and also the veteran stuff happening. Hey, look, man, don't be dragging. Matter of fact, let me show you something right here, and I think I posted on this. Where is it? I'll look. And everyone's like, "What are you talking about? The special forces thing, a special SF thing, or whatever?" I said, "Look, let me look at this, and let me grab this image before we go on break." And there's a warp. It's a movement called the War Party movement. Basically, what it is that this is in an indigenous. It's basically, matter of fact, I'll just pull the fucking shit up. I might as well just get the guys. I need to get. Maybe I should just get the guys to come on the podcast, man, because this is some good. This is some good stuff. So they are a group that sells merch in their support for their MMIW awareness, which is missing murdered Indigenous women, and they have some of the most awesome Native American imagery that I've ever seen in a long time. And they're also, veterans. And so this right here, I think this is badass. And I just thought it was pretty cool that they had this guy getting in his, and he's a special forces guy, and he freaking was getting up in his, when am I going to start growing the Santa beard this year? Yeah, exactly. My days of being Santa are done. But anyways, I think this is just a good group. I'm gonna see about having them come on. I don't want to I don't want to over blab, but they have outstanding like merch. As a matter of fact, let me go to the.
I mean, that mustache alone,
Right.
Yeah,
exactly, man. I just thought it was pretty
they
cool.
sold me there.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
This the mustache, the mustache stuff. So this stuff right here, this is the stuff that reminds me of Specialist Braveheart, you know, and it's just like, hey man, this is, I just need to get him on. I need to get him on the show. I need to shoot the shit with him, and get them to come on and talk about what they're about, talk to them about what they do. Because to me, I think this is important, especially with the missing Indigenous women. A lot of people like to talk about it, blah 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 blah, but they're not about it. If that makes any sense, they're like, oh yeah,
yes, absolutely.
So, anyways, we're gonna take a break right quick. Here, let me remove my going back here with the bam. Okay, all right. So we're gonna take a break right quick. We're gonna get our guests set up, and then go through some sound checks to make sure everything's good. And I see that you're not participating in No Shave November. All right, participating. Come on, bro. I'm a divorce enthusiast. I know exactly what I have no nut November every day. What are you talking about? Anyways, nice try, Coach. But we're gonna go ahead and take a break. Get Special Sutton set up. I don't know. Do I call him Christian or Specialist? I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see.
Maybe both.
Yeah, maybe both. Yeah. And then we'll get him on. There's a program here that back in the day, when me and Spanky were at Fort Hood or Fort Cavazos, everyone was emphasizing the use of being a bone marrow donor, and so Special Sutton's going to come on here and talk about his program and the awareness that he's bringing. So it's a good program. Y'all need to check it out. Go ahead and take your break, hit the head, and shots. See you in a second.
If that's really a thing, and I get authorized to do it once, it's pretty much gonna be me sitting there talking shit like constantly.
WTF Nation Radio. WTF Nation Radio.
Take it from me, Ice. You can't just float around space not caring about stuff forever.
The voice of U.S. Army. WTF Moments. This is WTF Nation Radio.
Shit in the bag, Pogue.
What is this Facebook Live? I've never heard of this shit.
In the barracks where the madness breeds, a soldier's tale of wild misdeeds, from the chow hall to the PT grind. You won't believe the things you'll find. Drill sergeant's rage, a fiery storm. Private tensions far from the norm, in the shadows where the secrets lie. Army WTF you can't deny. Army of the stories unfold. In the heart of the chaos, the truth is told. From the field to the base, the legends grow. Army of the force, the madness we know. A Humvee stuck in the mud so deep. A midnight rain, no time for sleep. It moves straight like golden hand. The strangest sights in this foreign land. Drill sergeant's rage, a fiery storm. Private antics far from the norm, in the shadows where the secrets lie. Army WTF you can't deny. Army of the stories unfold. In the heart of the chaos, the truth is told. From the field to the base, the legends grow. Army of the force, the madness we know. Mud so deep, a midnight rain, no time for sleep. It moves straight like golden hand. The strangest sights in this foreign land. Drill sergeant's rage, a fiery storm. Private antics far from the norm, in the shadows where the secrets lie. Army WTF you can't deny. Army of the stories unfold. In the heart of the chaos, the truth is told. From the field to the base, the legends grow. Army of the force, the madness we know. In the ranks where the wild things roam. Every soldier's got a tale of their own. From the Raise a glass to the tales untold. In the Army's world, where the brave and bold live the moments that make us say, Army double for fuff every single day.
I am here determined to stop this future atrocity. This station is now the ultimate power in the universe. I suggest we use it.
The voice of U.S. Army, WTF Moments. This is WTF Nation Radio.
I find your lack of faith disturbing.
Everything stated on WTF Nation Radio is to be considered the opinion of the person that stated it, and not an official representation of WTF Nation Radio or U.S. Army WTF Moments.
Price does not include tax, title, or license. Some assembly required. Each item sold separately. Batteries not included. Objects in mirror are closer than they appear. If conditions persist, contact a physician. Individual results may vary. Keep out of the reach of children. Avoid prolonged exposure to direct sunlight. Keep in a cool, dark place. And
please enjoy the show. Shots.
And we're back with our guest, Sergeant Sutton. Oh, man. My apologies, man. I was calling him Specialist Chris Sutton. I just got told he was promoted. Actually, he just told me he was promoted. So, congratulations and welcome to Sergeant's Time, man.
I appreciate it. I'm glad I have the rank for the time.
Yeah. Ooh, there you go. Well, now you're in. Oh shit! Now you're in the realm of the NCO. So welcome to Sergeant's Time, where sergeants are sergeanting, I guess.
Yes.
Anywho, so I was just telling the audience before you came on, hey guys, bear with this camera. He's on Wi-Fi and he's moving like rapidly, so he's like the Flash. So if you see sudden movements and rapid movements, that's because he's operating on Wi-Fi, and so if he looks like he's like going to stare you down or something like that, he's just trying to remain as calm and still as possible. So that way, you stare, dude.
Their vision's based on movement.
Exactly. Anyways, so Army Sergeant who turned up a pretty good program for the Army. So I'm just going to let you go ahead and do you go by Chris or Christian?
Either or, whichever's quick to decide.
Yeah, that'll work. All right. Well, Chris, tell us about yourself, man.
So I've been there about 4 years. I just hit E5 last week. Just got to keep up with the time, kids. It moves fast. I'm a signal soldier stationed at Fort Bliss, and about 2.5 years ago, I picked up a pretty weird hobby of doing bone marrow registry drives in my spare time, and that kind of expanded into something big enough to be on an esteemed program such as this.
How did you get into it?
So I got invited to a punk rock concert. I hate punk rock. I'm sorry if anyone likes it or if you like it, but it's not my jam. So I didn't notice anything. I did a couple interviews today and they asked me, what band was playing? I was like, I don't even know. What I did notice was a table in the corner that was registering people as bone marrow donors, and it was about 10 feet away from a mosh pit. And something about that image of this genuine humanitarian effort 10 feet away from just drunken chaos stuck out to me. And I was like, this is just pretty easy to translate to the Army. So I started doing drives on Fort Bliss, finding out that my drives were the first ones ever done on Fort Bliss in over 10 years. Mm-hmm. So by default, I was the Fort Bliss Bone Marrow Program, and I absolutely used that by default title to walk into random battalion sergeant major's offices, say, hey, I'm Special Sutton. I run the Fort Bliss Bone Marrow Program. Can I do a drive at your unit?
Awesome.
And I just kept doing that whenever I had free time, and
now,
eventually.
Go ahead. Yeah. So
no,
how did it? I mean, how did you get the pitch to do it though? Because I mean, at the time you started doing it, you were a PFC specialist, right? You were, and you're kind of like, I don't know, hey, I could do this. What was your pitch to leadership about
that? When I started building that pitch, I was a PFC. I just got told, hey, you got to make a con op. And I was like, I don't know what that is. Concept of operation. I had to make a PowerPoint explaining what I'm doing.
Right.
Didn't know what that was. So I just guessed. I called a couple people who'd done registry drives before, and I was like, I don't like that. These people had done like 70 or so registry drives. So that PFC brain, I was like, I can do it better. I was like, nah, that doesn't work. That's dumb. And I built this idea for how to do these drives. And I took all the stuff, Salute to Life, which is the DoD's registry program. That's the one that you signed up with, I believe, forever ago.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
What was that, like 50 years ago, something like that? And
yeah, pretty much.
And I just printed all your stuff, edited them, or like cut out things I didn't need. I didn't know what I was doing. I didn't really know how the chain of command worked for the Army quite yet. I've been at Fort Bliss less than 7 months.
Oh man, that's awesome.
So I printed out 3 manila folders, stuffed the papers in it, in a Sharpie wrote Captain Santiago, Lieutenant Colonel Farrell, and Colonel Wagner for my company, battalion, and brigade commanders. And took it to my company commander, and he went, "Wow, great idea. I'm gonna go give this to the brigade surgeon. I don't know if you know they existed." I was like, "I don't know. I have no clue what that is." And I expected them to just say, "Hey, great idea," and take it, slam the door in my face, and go get their OER bullets.
Yeah.
Instead, they just said, "Okay, perfect. Do it." And
wow,
so,
that just like off the bat, no briefing to the boss, no how to brief this to the commander, just all right, go ahead, go for it.
yeah, I have really no clue what conversations happened in between that and then, but
Yeah,
he basically just said, "Okay, we'll do it." I think he put a DTO down to the battalion saying, "Hey, within this month, pick a date for Special Sutton to come out and speak to you." And it was about two months out. By 2 months past that time, that deadline, I did not have a single date. So I just got his permission. I went to every single battalion and just walked in and said, "Hi, I'm Special Sutton. I run the bone marrow program. Give me my date, please." And I was able to get all of them in one day. And I was just like, "Oh, I can just do this whenever I want."
Now, here's my thing. I mean, nobody walked you through the process of, hey, you're a PFC, hey, private, you need to, you understand that there's chains. You were just hopping along, just, I'm going to go and talk to this person. No,
the brigade surgeon said I could do it. He was like, "Yeah, you're fine." I was like, "Okay, can I get that in writing?"
Oh,
"Okay, you give it to me in writing? Perfect. Who cares?"
Yeah, exactly. Oh, that's awesome. That is
and
awesome.
then I just started going. I was like, I can just do this whenever I want. So I just started going to other brigades whenever I had free time. I would just go to my sergeant and go, "Hey, I'm gonna go do meetings," and I'll just walk in a random battalion sergeant major's office, look confused until someone asked me what I was there for. I figured out this perfect face where people could tell I don't know what I'm doing, and then the minute they talk to me, I'll just go, "Oh yes, absolutely. You can help me." They say, "Hey, can I help you?" I go, "Absolutely. Can you take me to your battalion sergeant major, please? I need to talk to him." I'm a Specialist Sutton. I run the Fort Bliss bone marrow program.
Dude,
and they go, "Oh, okay."
That is so awesome. It's just funny because I couldn't imagine I mean, I'll be honest with you, being a senior NCO and then just having a Joe just walk in and say, "Hey, I want to do this and I want to talk to somebody. Here's your, I'm talking to your, I'm doing this. You're going to can I need to talk?" Yeah. I mean, just imagine you're just directing, just like bam, 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 bam. I could imagine some of the looks on their face at the first time you did that though.
Well, the idea was they think someone else sent me, and I never specified. So they're like, "This guy's got a lot of confidence." Yeah. I don't know. I don't want to meet the rank behind him right now.
That's awesome. That's a good guys. I mean, when you think about it, just like, oh yeah, somebody.
I never lied.
Yeah. You just didn't say it.
I just knew what they were thinking. I just didn't go. I was like, I'm serving a good purpose. It's I don't care if you know why I'm here or not, or if there's actually some mysterious 4-star general telling me to come in here. But I was able to get these drives done, just go out and yap to the soldiers and get them registered. For reference, the Army registers about 800 people a year. Just by doing that weird system, I was able to register 2,300 in about 6 months.
Oh, wow.
So taking that and going, "Oh, wow, I'm doing better than the entirety of the Army."
Right.
I started helping other soldiers do it at other bases.
Yeah, I was about to say, did it? You started to build your little
Mafia.
Yeah, I'm about to say the E4 Mafia is the E4 Mafia. Yeah. Operation Ring the Bell is the name of your campaign. So how did the name even come up? Like, just a pitch somebody gave to you, so you decided, I'm gonna call it this or whatever. I mean, don't get me wrong, your spontaneity is classic in this. I love it. So, I mean, punk rock concert, that's how you started the program. So I just now want to know the story about what do you mean by Ring the Bell?
I think that's a quicker story maybe, but I think you'd like how I got the name Bone Marrow Guy as well.
Yeah. No. We got plenty of time to talk. Go ahead, go for it.
Yeah. People kept forgetting my name, so that was just what I kept getting called. When that NCO would walk me to the sergeant major, I would tell them my name, and they'd go, "Oh yeah," and they'd walk me to a sergeant major, go, "Hey, sergeant major, the specialist fucking the bone marrow guy's here to talk to you. And I heard that so many times. I was just like, when I made my social media account, I was like, what other name can I possibly go by? That's just what I go by now.
Right.
For Operation Ring the Bell, yeah, I just kind of made it up on the spot. But the operation part and the reference for it was, actually, I think I have one. Do I have one of my coins? You got one? Okay. So when I was a PFC, when I was doing when the Afghans were coming here for refugees when we pulled out of Afghanistan, I was on that detail, and just as a prank, I started making challenge coins as a PFC and hunting down high-ranking people because they were constantly coming to the camp. They were constantly coming around, giving us pats on the back for doing these 14-hour shifts, and I loved the work, but it was just officers coming by saying, "Hey, great job! Y'all are doing a kick-ass job. You're really knocking it out of the park." And then they would get in their car and leave, and they'd only appear when the 2-star generals came by so they could stand in front of us. So I started making challenge coins that were wooden blocks. I have to stand so still.
You gotta stand still, yeah. Okay, yeah, I see it now. Yeah.
This is the specialist one. This is the one I have for this one, but I made those, but for a PFC. And what I would do is when those high-ranking people would come around, like the 2-star, or the colonels, or whoever would come by, I would get my other people who were on guard duty to figure out where they were going. They'd come around a corner, and we'd be waiting there in a half circle, and we'd stop them, and I'd step out of the circle. So Colonel comes by to visit. He turns a corner. He's suddenly surrounded by PFCs. And then I pop out, and I say, "Just want to say, sir, you're doing a kick-ass job. You're really knocking it out of the park. I want to award you the highest honor I can in the United States Army, the coveted private first-class challenge coin."
Oh my God!
Yeah.
Oh my God! It's like, could you imagine? Just, I mean, just everybody standing around. What was their reaction when you were saying that?
It was mixes of, they were really happy and impressed because I had this cool little coin to give them, and everyone surrounding them was be horrified, like people in their posse.
Yeah.
And I would just pick higher and higher ranks. Eventually, I gave one to SMA Grinston.
Yeah.
When he visited, to the horror of everyone. And I called that Operation or Enlisted Woodshop because of a typo.
Yeah.
I thought the operation was called, like the Afghan refugee pullout was called OEW, not OAW, Operation Allies Welcome.
Yeah.
So I had OEW on the coin because the guy who I never saw it typed. I just had to do with a southern accent who told us what the operation we were doing was. So Operation OAW. So I call it OEW, and Sergeant Major made fun of me about it right before I gave it to another high-ranking Sergeant Major. So I quickly was like, "Oh fuck, that's not the acronym," and I just made one up. I was like, "Operation Enlisted Woodshop." So for Operation Ring the Bell, I just continued both the coins and that moniker name, and I picked Ring the Bell because when it would just happen. When a cancer patient is, they get through chemotherapy or they're essentially on the road to recovery, they ring a bell to symbolize it.
That's right. Yeah. I've had several friends that have gone through that and they've done the bell, and yeah, that's a good connection. Now it grew. Not only did it grow, but they invited you to AUSA, right?
Twice. Yeah. Yeah, so from that dinky E4 running around Fort Bliss, I started helping other soldiers around other bases do these drives, making resources and just doing these drives at their bases, doing the same. Like I wasn't exactly a good influence initially. I was just like, yeah, you could just walk in their office. No one cares. And it was true, weirdly enough. But I'll just say they can only give you one verbal counseling at first, and then you're in. I walked up through the steps of this is what you have to do to get an Article 15 doing this. You're fine. And we were having drives happening around the Army, and eventually I just realized I did enough big drives. I got hospitalized from doing like bigger and bigger drives. I got put in the hospital because of one of them. And
what happened with that? What was the story behind that? Or is that classified? Or
no, it's not classified. It's just so I was running a huge hospital drive that was way out of my depths. I was doing I was getting I negotiated 6 volunteers from different units every single day for 2 weeks at the hospital, running 3 different stations across the hospital for 14 hours a day, stopping every single person who came in. So every day I had a brand new group of people, and I had to train them, watch them, oversee them. I was walking, I think, 17 miles in just the first and second floor of the hospital back and forth. And somehow the stress of all that, I think I was sleeping like 2.5 hours a day, just like arguing. I was doing 70 phone calls a day, arguing with leadership, going, no, I need my volunteers. Give them to me. Yours are made a promise.
Welcome to
I'll call Dad.
I'm about to say, yeah. I'll call.
That apparently plummeted my immune system. So I was fine on this last week. On a Wednesday, I was perfectly fine in the morning, and by the afternoon, I started to like feel a little weird. And then by the end of that workday, I was just like unconscious in a random office in the hospital. Just like, man, I don't feel great. The next day, I was just ready. I was just like, all right, I'm gonna take some Motrin and go to the hospital and go back to work. And I had 105 temperature. I think I couldn't speak.
Wow.
I was just really bad shape. I was delirious. So I just put in group chats like, hey, can someone take me to the old emergency room so they can give me some meds and let me get back to work? I went to the emergency room. I had to type out my symptoms on my phone and have my friend read it out to them because I couldn't speak. They took me in there, took one look at my mouth, and they were just like, oh, it's probably just a tonsil infection. We'll have you back to work today. They took one look at my throat, and they were like, you're going to be here for a while. We're actually going to have to put a breathing tube in right now while you're awake. Because I had about that, I have to stand real still, that much left in my throat. I had tonsillitis.
Jesus.
But the rarest version of tonsillitis, periodontal tonsillitis, and the worst case the doctors had ever seen. And I went from 24 hours, within 24 hours, from fine to I would have died in 4 hours if I had not gone to the hospital right then. So I woke up. They said, we're going to put the breathing tube in while you're awake. I was like, cool. I woke up with a beard, 17 pounds lighter, covered in bruises, because it took 6 people to put the tube in. And I was first thought when I woke up was, oh shit, what about my drive? What am I gonna do? It's the last day. My team needs me. I got hospitalized, and I knew it was bad. One, because I woke up and every nurse had a catheter in when I woke up, so I was like, oh, that was rough. I didn't know what time it was. I didn't know what day it was. And I didn't know that for about 6 hours until they found my phone where I got thrown across the operating room.
Were you like thrashing or fighting people off or something?
Yeah, no, they said, we're going to put the breathing tube in. You're going to be awake. Just, be cool.
Right.
And I was like, absolutely. And I woke up with one single frame image and just of 6 people running at me and just the knowledge that there was a struggle and just completely covered in bruises. So apparently I just went completely ape-brain. But yeah, I almost died. And I realized right at this exact moment, I am the single point of failure for where the Army's bone marrow program is. All these people doing these drives.
Hey man, that's admirable, dude. You're literally on death's door and you're like, I gotta get my donors. I gotta get my.
No, I was just like, God damn, I almost died, but the Army's program would have died with me had I done this where it's currently at. I was like, we need to redo this.
Oh, come on, man. There'd have been some CSM saying, was he wearing his PT belt? And we'll just make this an additional duty.
Absolutely. I mean, that's all I want. Essentially, no drives happen in the Army without a volunteer reaching out to do it. And that's what I was.
Mm-hmm.
And after that, I just rethought of, there needs to be someone to do this at Fort Bliss when I'm done. There needs to be someone to do this at every base when I'm done. And I got told the CG was going to give me an ARCOM for the drives I'd already done. He didn't write that ARCOM. One of the brigade nurse did. But he was going to give it to me. Don't you worry.
Which one?
I got out of the hospital.
Oh, so it was General Eisenhower, right?
General Eisenhower's amazing, and this is a good story for him.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, look, man. I get. Okay, we were breaking balls about General Eisenhower about
I love that, man.
His comment about the about adults and adulting and all that. We get what he meant, but we understand that how it could have been misconstrued.
Absolutely.
But we still broke balls on him. I think the biggest thing that really redeemed him was his fucking boonie rule, when you can now wear boonie caps on. But did you get that Archon, by the way? I mean,
I did, yeah.
Okay,
No, I can say I don't have anything negative to say about General Eisenhower. I owe a lot to him, and I will say it in private or in public. I'm his biggest meat writer on the planet. He's given me a lot. He's an amazing person. I have a lot of fun avoiding arguing online where people go, "He's a piece of shit."
Yeah. Oh, I know.
It's like, well, he's there's this policy.
Well,
when I gave him this when he gave me my Archon, I slapped that coin in his hand, and he immediately was like, "Is this from the E4 Mafia?" And he started showing it around, and he was like, "This is awesome." And then I turned around and slapped a 36-page continuity book I wrote that morning. This is the day I got out of the hospital, like the morning after. I got up in the morning, written this entire continuity book because I was supposed to write it that week before, but I was on a breathing tube for 5 days. So I gave it to him, and I was just like, "Hey, this is how we can take what I've done and make it a permanent part of Fort Bliss." And he was like, "What do you need?" I was like, "I don't know. I need I need someone at division who will help me do this."
Right, exactly. Now,
and he just said, "I have a surgeon cell that might be qualified." And he just turned to someone, whispered to him, and then walked off. And 2 weeks later, they called me and they said, "Hey, get your ass down here. You're going to write an op-ord for this program."
That's awesome. Now, that's just at Fort Bliss. Now, it got picked up. It's been getting some traction through other installations, though, right?
Yeah. So that's all the origin story, I guess. When that happened, we all just went, "Oh, we can do that. We can just do a division-wide impact. We can just establish a division-wide program with enough of a well-timed power move."
Right. Exactly. Just have somebody who's motivated to do it.
So I took this like team of like individual people who I was just helping do drives and brought them all together, and we just became this collective, all working together, doing drives, leveraging them together, and then open door policing our way up to our division commanders and going, "Hey, here's a 36-page continuity book. You should establish this." And like working on scripts, working on everything, bringing it down to like the smallest level. The conversation of, "Hey, it's okay. One verbal counseling," that became written word. The exact amount of how in trouble you can really get. And we started establishing programs across Fort Drum, Fort Cavazos, Fort Gordon, just getting the wheels moving. And with that, we were able to start I was able to really push the social media account with the Bone Marrow Guy moniker, and just start really networking around the Army and learning, okay, one division isn't enough, or 2 divisions might not be enough.
Right.
And then going, why don't we just do the whole fucking Army?
Right. Exactly. Now, just we covered the whole story, but can you give us what is exactly you're asking people to have awareness with? What is exactly the bone marrow? What does it do when you're donating? When you're donating it?
Well, I want soldier spit on my end. I'm a professional collector of spit. All I want people to do, I want people to donate, but in the short term, I want as many people to register to the national database as possible. It's 0 time. It's just a cheek swab and a piece of paper. You get added to the national database, and the challenge is that there's only 6% of the population on the national database. So,
oh wow,
if you get cancer, clock's ticking. If any of us get cancer, you need a bone marrow donor. Often, chemotherapy destroys your bone marrow's ability to reproduce itself. If you have sickle cell, if your kid is born with a compromised immune system,
right,
often you just need a little bit of healthy bone marrow to restart your ability to have that. It just teaches your body how to be healthy again. And it's not like blood where you need just an A, B, C, D, E positive, negative. It has to be someone who's almost exactly genetically identical to you. So it's like organs essentially.
Right.
And you're not going to find that in your family. You're not taking your sister's kidney like you're taking her bone marrow. 70% of the time, you just have to find someone in a different state or a different country who just happens to, for some reason, be almost genetically identical to you. Like just as handsome, just as clapped a hairline, just as everything. And you can't find them unless they're in that database. So the
Right.
more people are on that national database, the more chances everyone has to find that weird statistical match that only exists because there's 8 billion of us. And being on the registry is in the commitment to donate. Now, if you do donate, I think you know this, I'm assuming. How do you think they take out bone marrow?
Yeah, I want you to explain. I know how they do it, but I want you to understand some of the I mean, I was ready to have like cartoons and graphics up, but I just figured I think an explanation would rather do it because I don't want to would be but go ahead. Tell us. Okay, once let's just walk through the process. So I got swabbed. You have me in a database, and then now what? What happens from then?
So you're added to this database, and for almost everybody, it'll never come up again in your entire life.
Yeah.
But if it does, it's because you are identified as that only match for somebody. If you are identified as that match, you're asked, do you want to donate? If you say yes, I want to donate, it's a blood draw. No one's stabbing your bones. Everyone thinks it's a spine tap. They think a fan's going to come by, knock you out, take your bones out. They think it's like having that organ donor on your ID, or they have that paranoia that, you know, if you bruise your toe, the doctor's going to stab you in your neck in your sleep.
Yeah, you're gonna get harvested.
Yeah.
Well, the process of it, the reason why people didn't get it before was they talked about what happened. It's like, hey, once you're a donor now, here's what happens, and then they spike your bones. They it's almost like X-Men, you know, it's almost like adamantium. You know, they're pulling blood out of your bone, like specifically, and yeah, exactly. And you're like, people are like, I'm not doing that shit, you know.
Yeah.
So it's just a blood draw after you've been identified to donate, correct?
Yeah. They get a blood draw from you. They see if you're a good enough donor, and then it's another blood draw. It's just like donating plasma. They give you a medicine that has you produce more bone marrow stem cells than your body needs, and then a couple days later, they take those extra stem cells out of your bloodstream. 2 needles, 2 arms. Watching Grey's Anatomy, you know, having a drink right after, and you go right back to work. It's so uninvasive. The only time anyone donates through getting their bone stabbed is if it's a high risk infant. At that point, just deal with the sore leg for 3 days. Like, that's it. 3 days.
Yeah. No.
90% through your blood.
Yeah. Everyone. Yeah. Because I think back in the day that practice was in fact used, right? Was the
yes?
Because
yeah,
it was they called it you get spiked, and the back of the terms when they did it for us, you know, when I was younger, you get spiked, and then blah 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 blah, you know, donate blah blah blah, and then everyone was like, fuck that, you see, and then, you know, it's only a spike this big, and then that really freaks everybody out. And then and I keep telling people it's not like that anymore, and it's really easy. So let's just you know, let's let the guy come on, because everyone's like, are you really gonna do this? I'm like, dude, it's easy shit. It's easy shit. So so you get swabbed, you get a blood draw. Well, you get a swab, then you get see if you're a potential match. You get blood drawn. That determines if you are a good match, and then you get your double. They give you some medicine for extra bone marrow stem, like you said, stem cells or something like that. Is that
They just take those extra stem cells out. You don't even lose anything.
Yeah, and it's not invasive. So question in the inbox is that. So to clarify my question, that Sutton says it needs to be a near genetic match. So would it be possible to register from another country?
Yep. Since it's a national issue and it goes so close to ethnicity, all national databases, Germany, the US, and any other country, they all work together to find those matches in different countries. So someone reached out to me recently who got matched with someone who was in Norway. It's just, you don't know where that match is going to be found. That guy didn't have any Norwegian or whatever Norwegian in him that
exactly.
he knew about, but he was still just statistically happened to be that match.
Are they gonna? You're not gonna like get donated and then all of a sudden turn into you're not gonna turn into a Viking or something. You're gonna grow beard real fast, or is there any side effects to that?
Hey, if the side effect is that I can grow a beard, I'll donate right now. I'll toss it in the sewage after, and so probably after I'll take it.
You've been all over the news locally, El Paso news and all that. The DOD has already given you some recognition just a few weeks ago. We got that posted in links and stuff like that all around. But anyways, did it have? How do I say this? Was there? It's kind of like Hots and Cots. It's how Hots and Cots when it first came out, people were like, "Yeah, Hots and Cots innovated." But then once Hots and Cots started posting stuff, then people were like, "Hey, wait a minute, I don't like the way you're posting it." Did anybody get a little upset about your program, or they were like, finally somebody's doing this shit? Because there's some people that gatekeep.
I can say I have run into few hurdles.
Okay, there you go. That's what
generally, the challenge of what I'm asking people to do is I'm saying, hey, I need you to do some work. I need you to give up a soldier to do these drives and write the paperwork, which generally we pre-write it for them. We've built templates to where they just need to Control F or replace our other unit's name with their unit's name, and there's your order. You're done. But generally the way where my social media presence is a bit different is my influencer thing isn't on Reddit, which is my only social media. It's in Outlook. It's in meetings. That same attitude where I'd walk into a battalion sergeant major's office and just go talk to him, or trick a staff sergeant to introducing me to him, therefore vouching for me. I do the same thing, or I did the same thing since it's if I need to talk to the TRADOC command sergeant major, I've just waited for him to come to Fort Bliss, or if he's in the base within 8 hours, someone will tell me. I will go there, and I'll happen to run into him with a packet for him.
Good.
With his name on it. I go, oh, crazy to see you.
Yeah, it's just I was just curious because it's just because some people get specific. I know in the medical field, people get really touchy around other people doing stuff that they don't.
No, this is there's been no issues for people, the decision makers saying, hey, I want to implement this. I want to bring this forward. The challenge is always getting it to them and then getting the people below them to make sure it happens. So sometimes when you're working your way up to some division leader's office to have that pitch, you might run into somebody who just says no, just straight up, just absolutely no. And they won't listen to your pitch. They just don't want to listen. So where I run into that, I then do the other thing where I network my way to who's in charge of them and get them to just tell them like, hey, hear this guy out. It's just, it's Army politics at this point, and it's always has been. But
yeah. Well, I mean, that's good. It's good that it's so. Are they planning? Do you know? You got any inside scoop that are they planning on building developing an office for something like this?
I don't know about an office. So far, I think they're content for as far as stable location is just, hey, this E5 is running it for them. Right now, I'm just working on getting these drives to be happening independently at these several different installations we've got them running at, and getting them into the SRPC sites, into reception at bases, to where someone that I've never spoken to is giving this brief and doing a fine job without me ever having to talk to them. That's the goal.
Yeah.
But for right now, it's just we're on the edge of the Army taking it and going, all right, we're doing this. We're bringing that wide scale. But we haven't gotten exactly there yet.
Yeah, and, I'm just curious. So it's more like not this. Yeah, I'm about to say, I don't want to sound old school, but you're basically just doing a train the trainer program to get it out there. Now you just said something that was interesting. So you do this at SRP sites as well, right?
Absolutely, yeah. The SRPC sites, which is there's 6 sites, but really 3 main ones in the Army where most active duty, all National Guard, all reserves units go to do. Like, what is it called? How would you pronounce it? Medical. It's like their medical readiness.
Yeah. So they're doing their SRP mobilization, whatever.
Yeah. There's a lot of different acronyms.
Yeah. Exactly.
Meaningless.
Yeah, exactly. You're just like, damn, dude. Especially when it comes to the reserve community too. So.
Yeah, for Fort Bliss, it's called the MFGI site. For Fort Cavazos, it's called the SRPC. For for Fort Cavazos, it's called DRC. For Fort Liberty, it's called SRPC. It's all SRPC to me. None of the acronyms mean anything. The Fort Bliss one's Mobilization Forces Generation Installation.
Gotcha.
I don't know what that means, and the 2-star general who I got to say yes didn't know what it meant either.
So what do you? So you're basically just throwing the spiel out right there, then.
No, what I want to do is get that built into that SRP process for the Army. So every time a soldier is going through SRP, they have that manila folder with all their medical paperwork. and they fill it out by default. They by default fill out the bone marrow registry paperwork. At another station, they get asked, "Hey, here's the swab. Do you want to complete it?" If they say no, they take that paper, put it straight in the shredder. It just gets rid of any of the issue. The biggest issue that I find for getting soldiers to register is I don't want to fill out that fucking paper. All the time, I don't want to fill out paper. Getting it into those sites, specifically those 3 main sites, will register 16,700 per building per year.
Holy
on
shit.
a low number output. We've gotten 800 in 6 days.
Wow, that's like freaking. Just trying to do the beer math in my head.
That's the entire military's contributions each year from each building.
Yeah. Yeah. Now, have you gotten anything? And this again, this is just purely anecdotal. I don't know if you have any. If you do, then that's good. Do you have anything that's come out that where like you've actually from individuals that have donated around these the installations that you've personally worked that they've been able to find? You've been able to find match-up donors with persons who needed to have it donated.
Yeah, I found out early this year. I just randomly got told I was doing a sync meeting with Salute to Life, and I'd been doing this for a year and a half. I had died in the hospital for this drive. I've built this up to this big window of opportunity. And then randomly in a meeting, they went, "Oh, by the way, Sutton, 2 people donated that you registered." And I was like, "What?" That's a big deal. That's 2.
Yeah.
And that was a year ago. Now it's 3 plus. They haven't told me how many it is. I asked them on the phone yesterday, and they're like, "Oh, well."
Oh, that is so awesome.
3 people have donated that have registered because of Operation Ring the Bell, and 2 people have personally donated that I've registered at Fort Bliss, and that's a really, really cool feeling. I'm really proud of whoever that was.
That's a win, man. It just takes one, and then it takes that one person to say, "Hey, look, this is what happened with me." Blah blah blah. Now, I was about ready to ask you said something about Salute to Life. I was going to ask you about that. Who are they?
So, Salute to Life is the DoD's marrow registry program. There's Be the Match, which is now called, which was then changed the name to the National Marrow Donor Program, which is now just NMDP. But it's Be the Match. I refuse to say anything else. They keep arguing with me and sending me emails. I don't care. I know the difference. No one else does. It's Be the Match. Be the Match is the National Registry Program. It's the database. They have subsects that specialize in certain organizations. Salute to Life is the DoD's. So DoD members, we move a hell of a lot more than civilian side, a hell of a lot more than anyone else. Sometimes it's not common for a civilian to be in Afghanistan twice in 1 year. So Salute to Life was created to specifically handle that and handle our information more securely in the 90s.
Gotcha.
So they handle the donations, they handle registrations. If people want to do registry drives on their own, Salute to Life just sends them the kit so they can do it. It works exclusively through volunteers in the Army, and that's what we're kind of shooting to change.
Gotcha. Now, it says right there, for example, donors must be must not have insulin-dependent diabetes, heart disease, recurrent cancer, or any other HIV, COPD, blah blah blah. What is that? What does general health mean? Has there anybody been denied?
For general health,
yeah,
people will get denied for certain conditions. Like, obviously, you don't want bone marrow from someone who currently has AIDS or
right,
or things like that. There's certain conditions that will exclude people from registering.
Yeah,
and it just depends.
Because I remember when it was back in the day when the bad cow disease scare happened, and if you gave or you donated, you were immediately taken off because you lived in Europe or something like that. Because you couldn't donate. You could if you lived in Europe for more than a specific time during this time and this time, it doesn't matter. If you just breathed the air, you couldn't donate.
You had a schnitzel anywhere.
Yeah, exactly. Man, I could use a good schnitzel.
You're good now, by the way. You can donate bone marrow. If you couldn't before, you can now if you've been to Germany. That it's a factor for blood donation, I think, still, or plasma, but for bone marrow specifically, you can donate if you've seen Germany.
So
if you've heard of donating.
so wait a minute. So if you go back to you could re-register again, right? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Oh, there you go.
Go for it. Shoot, so long as you're under 65.
You the old jokes, man. Again, that's all right. Yeah, because I was reading over some of your notes and going through some of the stuff that we talked about before you came on, and it's don't be a Bob. There's a program. Don't be a Bob, meaning if Bob doesn't answer the phone, please do not enroll. Please do not enroll as a bone marrow donor unless you're willing to actually donate, and you're willing to donate to anyone, anywhere.
They're getting petty. That wasn't there before.
Yeah, they are.
They're getting real aggressive.
They're like, don't be a Bob. They just throw a little video up in there. I won't play the sound, but it'll just be don't be a Bob. You know,
they got animators.
Yeah, they're guiltifying you, which is a good thing. You know what I mean? You don't want to fucking sit there and somebody's dependent on you. You finally get the fucking call, and then next thing you know, you don't answer or you decide not to do it. You know, this is
actually I have a story for that I used to tell in my briefs, but first I want to be annoyed that I've been asking for an animated video for a year and a half now. Where'd they get this budget?
Go to salutelife.org. You'll be able to see in the splash page and learn more.
Messed up. I gotta like go to Newgrounds and fucking hire people. So for people registering, not donating, there was a story I used to tell when I first started doing these briefs, which was I don't know how old this girl is now. I think she'd probably be 9. I'd stopped keeping up. She was 6 years old. She had gotten a blood condition, and she'd been looking for a bone marrow donor for about 2.5 years, living in a hospital because she was under 10 years old. They found a match for her. It's a long process once they find a match to actually get in contact, confirm and everything, and get an answer. And that for her it was about 6 months for them to finally get a hold of them. And the guy just said nah, and then hung up. So they had to do it again, and it took another 8 months for them to. I stopped telling the story around the time where it was the second time where it was like we finally found him another donor. We're still trying to get in contact with him. Let's hope they say yes. Let's hope they're not a Bob, I guess. And I'm not certain what happened with that, but it was the first story that Chad Valens told me, I think, on the phone. He was the director of Salute to Life the first time we spoke. And I was like, cool, man. Yeah, I'll just carry that forever. This knowledge.
God, dude. I mean, because at that point, yeah, I was about to say, because it's a lot of people don't realize that a majority of the people that are needing donors are children, right? Is that the highest? Is that a accurate statement to make, that a higher concentration of those needing donors, donations, bone marrow donations, would be for children?
I actually, if you know that from a statistic, you might. As far as I've seen and heard of donations, I haven't seen any thing overwhelmingly with children, but children do need it quite a bit, and when they do need it, they need it a lot more severely than an adult generally.
Yeah, because one of the 50% of registrants who are unwilling to, unable, or donate when they are called to a match. 1 in 430 are registered potential donors' chance of actually donating. And like you were saying, you brought up the statistic that 70% of the patients cannot find a matching donor within their family. So, that's fucking heartbreaking, dude. That is heartbreaking.
Don't be a Bob.
Yeah, don't be a Bob. I was gonna say something else, but I don't know if your PAO is gonna get mad for you cussing up a storm. I don't know. You already talked about Eisenhower. So, anyways,
I love the man.
He's
you
the man.
About him. I love that guy.
No, I didn't say that was bad. I was just asking.
Where's the bus? You're going right under it because I'm not coming in with you. I'll tell you, General Eisenhower's
he knows I'm breaking balls too. So. That's why we're saying, man, if you were, I mean, you see Hots and Cots and you see the barracks, it's not really, some of it is soldier issue, some of it's not. So again, it's the traditional, there's the peripheral stem donation and the traditional bone marrow donation are the two methods. But more commonly, it's the peripheral stone. Sorry, English is my second language. Peripheral blood stem cell donation is the one that you're talking about.
Absolutely. Just good old PBSC. It's 90% of donations. Genuinely, the only time anyone does it just to reiterate that, just to shame people more for being a Bob potentially. The only time you're going to get asked to donate through your bone or in almost every case you'll ever get asked to donate through someone poking your bone is if it's a high risk infant. So do it. And you can cuss, I can't, but
yeah,
do
no,
it.
I
It'll cover for me.
no, exactly. That's I just can't believe getting on the roster and the next thing you know you freaking decide to go nah. After somebody's,
I got plans that day. I don't know.
Like whatever, dude. Now, why register if you don't mind to follow through? Exactly. If you don't tend, there might be some things and values that getting away for sure, but that's very sad. That's from PIQ in the chats. I was gonna say, so once you got identified and it's time for you to go, do they fly you out there? Do they pay for you to go out there? Or if you're like, no, how do they get your blood? I mean, at that point, how do they get your How do they get your donation at that point?
How do I do like one of those voices from like a talk show announcing a vacation? I don't know.
Do you donate bone marrow?
No, you get it's a pretty sick gig if you get to donate.
Right.
There's only a couple facilities so far. They're making more, but currently there's only a couple facilities. And I would almost vote that they keep it down low because it's a free vacation basically. So it's a 5-day trip where they pay for everything. It's a big blank check.
Oh wow.
They'll cover your travel, your per diem, your rental car, obviously, your hotel. They're not going to have you be homeless, but they'll also cover if you've got a kid. They'll pay for someone to stare at that kid for you.
Wow.
If you got a dog, they'll pay for someone to stare at that kid for you while you're gone, or that dog.
Wow.
If you want your parents to stare at your kid or your dog while you're gone, they'll pay her wages so she can do it. If you're out of the army, which most likely you will be, and you got an hourly wage job, they'll cover those wages as well. They will break the bank. They'll do whatever you need, so long as you can donate that bone juice. They'll get it.
Oh wow.
It's because they're asking you to go take some medicine and sit in a hospital bed to give up some plasma to save a life of someone who's been waiting for you to pop up.
Right, exactly. And
they'll do whatever they need to do.
That's the key. That's another key point. I mean, breaking balls about having a free vacation, but there's somebody depending on you once you donate. So there's that's one thing that I want everybody to get from this is that once you donate and once you put your name on the roster, there's somebody on the other end depending on you for your donation. So it's like, again, that Bob, don't be a Bob. Yeah. Dude, I just couldn't imagine. Like you said, a toddler, infant, or something like that having to need it, and somebody's like, no, whatever. But if you still what happens if you have to do the traditional? Oh yeah, what happens if you have to do the traditional? Like you said, what's the procedure for that?
Way easier, actually. It takes a lot less time. It's a general anesthetic. They just take it straight from your femur, and it is whereas the PBSC is written as 1 to 4 days of recovery with mild flu-like symptoms. Through your hip is 0 to 3 days of recovery because it's just soreness. Generally, people go to work the next day. It is not nearly as traumatizing as people think. You just go to sleep, you wake up, you go home.
And like you said, just a little sore after that.
Yeah, it's just like you did I don't have a compared number for a number of one-leg squats, but a bunch of one-leg squats in one day.
Yeah.
Didn't drink any protein and had a hangover. I assume that's about the closest of where it is. I just know it's super sore. I have a guy on my team who he donated through his hip. He ran a 5K the next week and then jumped.
Oh wow!
I think he's just dumb. I think he might just be dumb at that point. But it's not that bad. But it's your only symptoms are soreness. With PBSC, it's mild flu-like symptoms, and I think maybe bone aches, kind of like you have flu-like symptoms. But they're both fine. One of them is just a lot scarier. I'm definitely be more comfortable with PBSC. I've seen a guy do it. He was fine.
Yeah, I'm just curious because I was just like I said. I think what it was is that back in the day the army was kind of scaring you. You're gonna get this. This is gonna happen right here, and you're gonna get this crammed. It's like just imagine if you're wearing jeans and then bam, it's gone. You're like, people are like, holy shit, I'm gonna get something in my jeans. Exactly. Oh man. So what's the way ahead for it now? You've already got the I guess you say the spotlight and the highlight on the program. What's the way ahead? What's the future for this? What goal do you want basically? What future do you want to see in this program?
Let's say 100-meter target, which I really hope is more meters than that and not a 300. I want the Army to take it on. All we've been doing is just essentially I know we are not the Army's bone marrow program. The Army can do it better. We're not the best at this. I suck at public speaking. I'm not even good on this podcast. But the Army could do it better. We're basically to spend our time while establishing these programs on a small scale at divisions or at these clinics and hospitals. We've just been taking everything and making everything the Army's going to need. When the Army says we want to do it, I'm just going to be able to drag and drop a link to them and go, here you go. And then I can move on.
Right.
The Army's got it.
Right.
The goal is to take the Army from 800 people registered a year to 100 to 200,000, which you can do with a minimally effective program. The goal is to get this brief given to soldiers regularly, consistently, routinely, at least once a year. So it's another boring brief they have to get and they can't escape. But it saves lives directly. It directly saves lives, and it will. I want soldiers to be bored and hate it and whatever, but I want them to also give up that spit and register and be given the option.
Yep, exactly. Well, man, hey, I appreciate you coming on. This is this has been fun. You guys dropped all the links in. If you guys are listening in on Twitter, I dropped all the links underneath the Twitter post, the broadcast, and also if you guys are listening into all the other platforms on YouTube and Facebook, they're underneath the chats as well. Chris, hey man, appreciate you coming on, dude. And again, freaking, it all started off with punk rock.
I would say punk rock changed my life.
Yeah, exactly that.
And I hate it still. Changed my opinion none.
All right, well, we're gonna go ahead and take a break right quick so I can get Chris sent off on his way, and then we'll I'll be right back to close everything up. Shots, y'all have a good one. See you.
Wished you could crawl
I am here determined to stop this future atrocity.
This station is now the ultimate power in the universe. I suggest we use it.
The voice of U.S. Army, WTF Moments. This is WTF Nation Radio.
I find your lack of faith disturbing.
Everything stated on WTF Nation Radio is to be considered the opinion of the person that stated it, and not an official representation of WTF Nation Radio or U.S. Army WTF Moments.
Price does not include tax, title, or license. Some assembly required. Each item sold separately. Batteries not included. Objects in mirror are closer than they appear. If conditions persist, contact a physician. Individual results may vary. Keep out of the reach of children. Avoid prolonged exposure to direct sunlight. Keep in a cool, dark place. And
please enjoy the show. Shots.
And we're back. Very, very, very important and informative interview there with Sergeant Chris Sutton. Hey, man, thanks again for hanging out with us. That was some good shit, man. That's when I like hearing stuff like that. Man, E4 Mafia just handling it, taking care of business. It's housekeeping time, man. It's time to do some housekeeping. Hang on, let me grab on some of the graphics, you know. And all right. Okay. All right. So, let's see what we got on the calendar. This see. Oh, I'm starting to sound like one of Viva La Vargas's characters. Let's see what's on the calendar. So today you listened to This is Sergeant's Time with Sergeant Chris Sutton, of course, a native of Sumter, South Carolina, and of course spearheaded through social media a campaign that gained the numerous leaders and senior leaders and formations around the Army. The campaign is called Ring the Bell in honor of a custom that marks when a patient is cancer-free. So, lesson learned from all that, get your donations in. We just talked about it. It's just like giving blood, unless it's an infant, then there you go. Friday, I think is FTX coming back? I think it's, did they do FTX last time? I don't know. I'll check. Let's see. When did they do FTX? I don't want to or is it a bye week this week? Let's see. Hello. Let me see if we got the FTX on, Yeah, last was it the FTX on the 7th? Yeah, so this is a bye week. So we got also co-ops. Also apologies with the tech issues we had for Battle of Fallujah. 6 days of Fallujah. It's one of those things that we're trying to work through. And then of course, I'm glad you guys listened to this one, and I didn't. At least Chris's sound was coming through, so we didn't have to worry about his vid. He was using a hotel Wi-Fi because he was still traveling. But yeah, so weekend co-ops with Nemo, the sports bar with the coach and the actual King Smith. Monday edition with myself and Massey. All news, commentary, and information discussion. Man, Monday is going to be we're talking about some picks. You know, Sports Bar talks about sports picks. We're going to be talking about political picks. And then, of course, Pop Culture Warrior with Michael Carrasquillo, also known as CQ, with his mad crew of Angry Elf and Mad Mike. And the Sorens onwards. I think they're still on break. Convalescent leave. So, and then, of course, me and Spanky here in Sergeant's Time. Make sure you share, like, and follow all of the platforms. Don't forget to hit the bell on Facebook because we've got restricted and our page is getting unrestricted and restricted. Purposely throttling us, but we're not throttled on X. If you go on X, you'll see that we are not throttled whatsoever. And we appreciate the audience out there on X. You guys can just click on the image and throw some chats in there, throw some comments, and we'll be able to see you inside our chats, in our chat bot. So we'll be able to track, and everybody else will be able to see it if you are on U.S. Army WTF Moments or WTF Nation Radio's YouTube page. We're also on 2 Facebook pages live, U.S. Army WTF Moments and WTF Nation Radio. I think that's it. Make sure you share, like, love. So yeah, I think that's it. Man, it seemed like this is a long show, but it seemed like it went by quick. So anyways, y'all have a good night, and Shots.
WTF Nation Radio. WTF Nation Radio.
Sometimes when I look at, I don't know if I'm allowed to say this, I think it's WTF Army or something.
The voice of U.S. Army. WTF Moments. This is WTF Nation Radio.
Where the madness reigns, officers orders driving us insane. ATF zero dark 30, no time to complain. Push ups in the mud, feel the muscle strain. Army life is a wild ride. WTF moments can't hide. Through the fire we survive, in the ranks we thrive. It's WTF moments in the army's grind. Through the blood and sweat we find our kind. In the chaos and the fire we stand aligned. Warriors forged in the battle's bind. Hilltops in the desert, sandstorms in our eyes. Memories for breakfast, no room for lies. Running marches through the night under starless skies. Brothers and sisters, we rise. Army life is a wild ride. WTF moments can't hide. Through the fire we survive. In the ranks we thrive. It's WTF moments in the army's grind. Through the blood and sweat we find our kind. In the chaos and the fire we stand aligned. Warriors forged in the battle's bind. Drill sergeant's fury echoing in the air. Discipline and duty we all must bear. Battle bodies by our side in the fight we share. In the face of danger we dare. Army life, it's a wild ride. WTF moments can't hide. Through the fire we survive. In the ranks we thrive. It's WTF moments in the army's grind. Through the blood and sweat we find our kind. In the chaos and the fire we stand aligned. Warriors forged in the battle's bind. Zones and firefights, adrenaline's rush. Silent nights, broken by the enemy's hush. Medics on the move in the heat of the crush. In the heart of battle we trust. It's WTF moments in the army's grind. Through the blood and sweat we find out our kind. In the chaos and the fire we stand aligned. Warriors forged in the battle. Army life, it's a wild ride. WTF moments can't hide. Through the fire we survive. In the ranks we thrive. Memories in our mind. Brothers lost but never left behind. Army WTF moments in the stories we find. In the army's embrace, we're forever entwined. It's WTF moments in the army's grind. Through the blood and sweat we find our kind. In the chaos and the fire we stand aligned. Warriors forged in the battle's bind. Through the smoke and the flames we rise again. In the heart of the storm we find our zen. Battle buddies by our side, our men. In the army's legacy we transcend.
Everything stated on WTF Nation Radio is to be considered the opinion of the person that stated it, and not an official representation of WTF Nation Radio or U.S. Army WTF Moments.
Price does not include tax, title, or license. Some assembly required. Each item sold separately. Batteries not included. Objects in mirror are closer than they appear. If conditions persist, contact a physician. Individual results may vary. Keep out of the reach of children. Avoid prolonged exposure to direct sunlight. Keep in a cool, dark place. And
please enjoy the show. Shots.